You're in Campaign Manager right now. You want to pause every sponsored product campaign with a ROAS under 2, and you've got 47 campaigns. You know what that means. Click, scroll, click, scroll, click. Amazon just made that obsolete. On February the 2nd, Amazon announced open beta for something called the Ads MCP Server. And if you don't know what that is, you're not alone. But you need to pay attention because this changes how you interact with Amazon advertising permanently. I've been testing this since closed beta in November, and what I'm seeing is a fundamental shift in how campaigns get managed. Here's what I'm going to cover: what it actually is, what you can do with it today, and why the next 12 to 24 months is the window to separate sellers who scale from sellers who get left behind. There's also a security problem almost no one's talking about, and I'll get into that. So let's start with what the MCP server actually is. Here's what advertising used to look like. You wanted to create a sponsored product campaign for a new ASIN. That meant logging into Campaign Manager, setting up campaigns, create an ad group, add keywords, setting bids, setting budgets, probably 15 to 20 minutes if you knew what you were doing. And if you wanted to expand that campaign to Canada, start over, different marketplace, different interface, same 15 to 20 minutes. Here's what it looks like now. You open Claude, you type create a sponsored product campaign for ASIN BO7X whatever with a $50 a day budget, done. You type expand that campaign to Canada, done. This is not a hypothetical. This is what's enabled now. That shift from clicking through menus and typing one sentence is worth the price of admission alone, but it goes deeper. So what's actually happening behind the scenes? MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's an open standard that Anthropic released in late 2024. Think of it as a translation layer between AI agents and software systems. Before MCP, if you wanted Claude to interact with Amazon ads, someone had to build a custom integration. And then if you wanted ChatGPT to do the same thing, someone had to build a different custom integration. Every AI tool needed its own connection to every platform. That's what developers call N times M problem. 10 AI tools, 20 platforms, that's 200 integrations to build and maintain. MCP collapses all of that. One standardized connection. Any AI agent that supports MCP can now talk to any platform that has MCP server. Amazon just built that server for their ads platform. Think of it like this. You used to use a separate translator for every language you wanted to speak. Now there's one translator who speaks all of them. So what does this mean for you right now? If you have Amazon Ads API credentials, which most of you run in serious volume already have, you can connect this today through Claude, through ChatGPT, through Gemini, through Amazon's own tools like Q and Bedrock. Now here's something most sellers didn't realize. If you're already using a PPC tool that has AI access, you probably qualify. The credentials exist. You just need to connect them. What I want you to hold on to is that the barrier has just dropped. What used to require a developer now requires a conversation. Let me show you what this looks like in practice, because AI manages your ads sounds impressive until you understand the specifics. So here are real commands that now work. Show me campaign performance for October. Instant consolidated report. No exporting, no spreadsheets, no waiting. Pause all campaigns with ROAS less than 2. Bulk optimization across your entire account, 1 sentence. Create a sponsored product campaign for ASIN's BO7 whatever with a $50 daily budget. Full campaign structure. Campaign, ad group, targeting, built automatically. Expand my US campaign to Canada. Multi-marketplace expansion handled in one request. Now here's the mental model I want you to take away. Before, you learned Amazon Ads interface. You learned where the buttons were. You learned the workflows. Now you describe what you want. The AI learns the interface for you. Remember at the start when I talked about clicking through 45 campaigns? This is why that's over. You describe the outcome. The system handles the execution, and it goes beyond just campaign management. The MCP server includes tools for AMC, so Amazon Marketing Cloud. That means you can write natural language queries that translate into SQL analytics. You can pull attribution data. You can build audiences. If you watched my MC breakdown, you know how powerful that data is and how painful it is to access. This doesn't fix Amazon's fragmented attribution, but it makes getting the data dramatically easier. Now here's the practical reality right now. If you're spending over $50K a month on Amazon ads, you probably have API credentials. You can start experimenting now. If you're using third-party tools, ask them if they're building MCP integrations, because the good ones will be. And if you're not at that level yet, watch this space. The tools that make this accessible to smaller sellers are coming fast. The advantage window. Now here's where it gets interesting and uncomfortable, because there is a window here, and the window is closing based on how similar technologies have been adopted. And I'm looking at developer adoption data from Anthropic and MCP ecosystems. The early adopter advantage in agentic AI is roughly 12 to 24 months. That's the window where the people who figure this out first will outperform everyone else. After that, the tools will commoditize. Everyone will have access to the advantage compressors. Here's why that matters. It's not just about moving faster, it's about learning faster. When you start using AI agents to manage campaigns now, you build knowledge that compounds. You learn what prompt works, and you learn what workflows make sense. You develop systems that your competitors can't easily copy because they built on months of iteration. The data from adjacent marketplaces backs this up. Agencies using AI automation for meta ads are reporting content scaling improvement of over 80%, time to market reduction of 65%, engagement rate increases of up to 30% across micro optimizations that humans simply can't execute manually at scale. Those aren't theoretical numbers, those are from teams that started early to iterate. This is what I mean at the beginning when I said most sellers will miss this, not because they can't access it, because they'll wait. They'll wait until it's easy. They'll wait until everyone's using it, and by then the advantage is gone. Now I need to talk to you about something that most people covering this aren't mentioning, and that's security, because handing AI agents the keys to your ad account isn't without risk. Academic research analyzing thousands of MCP servers found that about 7% have general security flaws, and 5.5% have something called tool poisoning vulnerabilities, where a malicious server could manipulate AI decision making. There's a real vulnerability discovered in Figma's MCP servers that allowed remote code execution. These are not theoretical risks. In the AWS subreddit, the top comments on their MCP server announcements are all jokes about the first time an agent will delete something important. One guy said, "This definitely requires a driver's license." That is the community sentiment right now. Excitement mixed with legitimate concern. Here's the good news. Amazon's hosted MCP server is different from random third-party servers. Amazon maintains the infrastructure. They ensure the servers only references current, validated APIs. They handle the security on their end. Now, that doesn't eliminate risk, but it reduces it significantly, rather than connecting to random MCP servers you found on GitHub. So here's what smart sellers are doing. 1. Start with read-only operations. Pull reports, analyze data. Don't let the AI make changes until you trust the workflows. 2. Require human approval for anything that spends money. Most MCP setup supports approval gates. Use them. 3. Audit before execute. Have the AI tell you what it's going to do before it does it. Review the plan, then approve it. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about being professional. So here's where we land. Amazon just built the infrastructure for AI agents to run your advertising. That's not hype, that's what MCP enables. The question isn't whether this is coming, it's already here. The question is whether you'll be ahead or behind it. For years we talked about AI helping with ads, writing copy, suggesting keywords, analyzing data. That era has just ended. We're now in the era of AI managing ads, creating campaigns, optimizing bids, executing strategy. The sellers who understand that shift won't just save time, they'll operate at a level that manual sellers literally cannot match. And this shift isn't just happening in advertising. Google just announced something called Universal Commerce Protocol in January. AI agents that can complete purchases without customers ever visiting your website. No redirect, no checkout page, just buy this and done. It's the same pattern, same 12 to 24 months window, some separation between early movers and everyone else. If you're seeing how AI agents are changing campaign management, you need to understand how they're about to change the entire purchase journey. I broke down exactly what Google announced and what you need to do in the next 90 days before this becomes table stakes. So link is above somewhere here. See you there.